Ferrari's practice races before the 2024 season went really well for them, and the things the team is saying sound very exciting. However, with their driver lineup changing from 2025 onwards, there could be a lot of problems in making the car work perfectly and finding the right setup without Sainz's help. He publicly said he won't commit to helping in the upcoming season. But will all of the car changes be enough for Leclerc to catch up with Verstappen? And can we see Ferrari fight for race wins more often like they started back in 2022? It's clear that Ferrari had a lot of problems to solve with the SF24 car, but one of the biggest and most painful ones was how the tires got worn out over the course of the race. During the practice sessions where drivers tried to get the fastest time, we'd see Ferrari close to Red Bull, and sometimes Leclerc would get the fastest time, beating Verstappen. But when it came to race time, the SF24's performance would disappear with the rest of the cars, and it showed none of the potential it had just one day before. According to Vassar, this has been fixed quite well with the new car, and it's on a new level when it comes to managing tires. Talking about this matter even more, Fred went on to say, with the consistency in the race pace, the tire wear that we had yesterday for the longest run was on another level compared to last year. At least on this, we've made a step. But now it's not just a matter of being consistent but fast. We know that we always have to pay attention to the results after the test. If you take the rankings from last year, day 2 or day 3, I think it has nothing to do with the rankings of the Saturday of the race weekend. The most important thing is to trust the guys because their feedback was positive. And we've seen a lot of development for sure. Although Vassar has high hopes that his team has done enough to catch Red Bull, he still knows that the ball is in his court and the Austrian team is one step ahead of them. This is based on what they saw in their rival's new design. But having taken a risk with a Mercedes-like concept, Red Bull could be in trouble if they don't get the speed and performance they originally hoped for. This would put Ferrari as one of the favorites to win it all, because right now, they're said to be the team following the Austrian squad right behind. The entire rebuilding of the car frame and the fixing of the structural problems and limitations have helped the team in building a car that could be more friendly not only to the airflow but also to the future upgrades coming to this version of the car. Ferrari has tried to add lots of upgrades in the 2022 and 2023 seasons, but due to the nature of the car frame and the floor, they were unable to get maximum potential out of them. This is definitely not going to be the case in 2022 for its worth, mentioning that Ferrari had the fastest times in the second and third days of the practice sessions, with both Leclerc and Sainz setting the fastest times. And while these do mean little to nothing considering the fact Verstappen didn't even complete a run on the softest type of tires, and though not every team was chasing lap times due to the practice testing days, most of them were collecting data by driving at a constant speed of 200 km per hour to see if the results they got in the computer simulator would work the same way here on track. Be that as it may, if we are to compare the results that Ferrari had during the 2023 practice testing, they are the third most improved team with 1.13 seconds of performance improvement, right behind McLaren, which gained 1.13 seconds, and Williams with an impressive 1.5 seconds of improvement. And Leclerc knows that the challenge will be on his shoulders in order to deliver the best possible results, as he was quite sure that the car feels healthier and is a lot different from what we had to drive in the 2023 season. Furthermore, Leclerc went on to say that the car is reacting the way that we wanted it to, which means that everything that they've been working on in the past winter won't go to waste. There's still a lot of hiding in terms of performance, and not all cards are shown from the teams. This is being saved for the first racing weekend in Bahrain, where we'll see one of Ferrari's biggest competitors, Mercedes, show the real speed of their car when it's pushed to its absolute limit. But if we are to judge by the overall performance of the teams in Bahrain in the 3 days of testing, Ferrari seems to have the upper hand compared to Mercedes, McLaren and Aston Martin, the three teams that were threatening to put Ferrari a bit back in the running order. And on top of that, they fixed a problem with which they're going to be a lot more competitive during the races and not only show up on Saturday and lose all the positions on Sunday due to tire wear. Furthermore, if you're looking at the performance of individual drivers, you can see that it will very likely be Ferrari versus Verstappen as it was in 2023, because on the same type tires, Perez was not able to beat the SF24. Again, these results do not exactly show who is the fastest team, but judging by the fact that Verstappen ran some fast low-fuel laps just like Perez, it's safe to say that the Mexican driver might not feel as confident as he would prefer compared to his teammate. He was around 0.4 slower compared to Leclerc in the third day of testing, but his time was set on the C3 type tire, while Leclerc had the C4 type tire mounted on his car. On the other hand, you have a leaving driver in Carlos Sainz who stated many times throughout the last season that he doesn't want to enter a season without knowing where he'll drive in the next one, and that is exactly what has happened for the 2024 season as well. This is a very tricky situation because the team has clearly chosen one driver over the other, and it has definitely put the only race winner outside of the Red Bull team in 2023 in the worst possible situation for his liking. According to Vice, Ferrari was unable to give both of its drivers mid-season contracts like Mercedes did due to the competition between them in the championship, and when the season ended it was obvious in which direction the Maranello team moved. Adding to this even further, Carlos Sainz spoke to the well-known media outlet explaining, "Well, first I'd like to sort out my future to be clear where I'm going to go, where I'm going to race and what's coming next. And then for the rest of the year the approach changes a little bit because it's true that I already know that this year is the only thing left for me is to focus on each race. Obviously they're not going to count on me much to develop the car, and that allows me to focus solely and exclusively on getting the most out of the SF24 and myself to give Ferrari and myself the best possible farewell. One thing is for sure, team orders are going to be thrown out the window from Sainz's side just like they're going to be from Hamilton's side at Mercedes, and it would definitely cause some unpleasant moments if the team finds itself in a situation where it needs to choose the speed of one driver over the other, and the direction in which Ferrari moved with their contract situation translates into the direction in which they moved with the development of the car. It's more of what the Monaco driver prefers in terms of steering stability and down requirements. Sainz will also not be present in the majority of the meetings that would take place at Ferrari regarding the 2025 and 2026 development of the car, and when it comes to the 2025 season meetings, this could be a massive problem because they would definitely need a lot of his knowledge to sort things out, considering the fact that the 2025 challenges won't be that big of a change compared to the 2024 ones. This would all be something Ferrari would need to address sooner rather than later, because if an interesting and unique situation comes up and they're able to challenge Red Bull for race wins more frequently in 2024, the last thing that they would need is to have a fight between both of the drivers and to not use the right tactics due to a potential bad blood situation. Ferrari's reliability seems very good. The improvements are there and it seems like they've made a huge leap compared to the previous season. The only question is whether this would be enough for them to actually catch up to Red Bull and challenge them more frequently, considering the fact that Verstappen is driving in his own world and has recently said that the RB20 does everything he wants it to do, not to take anything from Leclerc or Sainz, but they haven't really shown that they have what it takes to fight with a driver of Verstappen's level. So this will also be a huge challenge, especially for Leclerc, because he will have a 7-time world champion partnering with him from 2025 onwards. And it definitely won't be for supporting his cause and building Ferrari around Leclerc. The ultimate goal for Hamilton is to win the 8th championship with the Maranello team, as he decided that it's quite impossible to do that with Mercedes, due to the development path that they took. So will Leclerc actually handle this pressure in 2025? And more importantly, will he get the maximum out of the SF24 in the upcoming season and show that he will be the driver to beat in Ferrari and not the other way around? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to watch the video that's appearing on your screen right now.